Hey, everybody, welcome to the Coffee Run Live episode 594, coming to you live from the office. I have just spent the last couple of hours having a bit of fun with a great friend of mine, Thelma Vlamis, on behalf of the Global Sisters Network, which are doing really amazing things actually for women who are running their own business or wanting to start their own business. You should totally go check them out. A really amazing organization. So what we were talking about though, I thought I'd just come in for a really quick live because I'm very hungry. And I thought I'd just come in really briefly and give you a quick little rundown, I guess, of what it was that we talked about today, with the view that it would, of course, help you as well. Because some of the things that came up, which I thought was really really interesting. And I think that these are the things that are really common actually when it comes to putting ourselves out there, when it comes to being more visible, when it comes to doing all of the things that we need to do these days in terms of, marketing ourselves basically so we can sell our stuff, is that we'll often get caught up in the thinking around our pricing. We'll be thinking about no one's going to buy my stuff, it's too expensive, or no, everyone should buy my stuff because it's really cheap. Or we think about the competition and imposter syndrome. And a lot of the time, and I know that this was true for me as well when I first started, it's like, why would anybody listen to me when there's already a ton of people out there doing the thing, right? And I'm sure that this is probably something that you guys have found in your lives as well with your marketing, whether you're just starting out there or whether you're trying to ramp things up and get out there in an even bigger way. The fact of the matter is this. I read a statistic earlier on this year, and I think it was something along the lines of the e-commerce, so people selling something online, whether it's coaching, whether it's product-based businesses, it doesn't matter, was set to, I think, triple by 2023, right? So online marketing, online businesses are not going anywhere. And in fact, there are more and more people coming onto the scene constantly. There are more and more people starting businesses, and, the stats aren't really that excellent. The statistics around small businesses making it are around 5% are successful. Of half of those 5% will maybe make it to the 5 to 10 year mark. Like, the statistics are really awful. And a huge part of this is because people, business owners, can be really, that they don't know how to market themselves. They don't know how to get out there. And honestly, you've got to be visible, right? It is necessary. Now, what I think about is that people think, oh, well, it's all well and good for you, Nick. You've got thousands of followers, you've got like all of this confidence, and you've got all of this, but I didn't start out like that, right? In fact, I started out thinking that I had to be very professional, that I had to be a certain way. Good morning, Joe. That I had to be really very professional in the way that I showed up. Now, there is no way going back, I started this business 11 years ago, more than 11 years ago. There's no way I would have shown up with like multicolored nails. There's no way I would have said fuck on camera. There is no way that I would have not come in with a jacket or had tattoos showing or like any of that. The big thing with, the big message, if you take nothing else away from today, is that you've got to be you, right? Wholeheartedly, however it is that you are. Now, one of the misconceptions is that it's all very well and good for me because people think I'm naturally an extrovert, which I am in some instances. People think that I have the gift of the gab, which I do. I have since I was a kid. But it doesn't mean that I still didn't have the same common fears that a lot of other people have had around the fear of being judged. I was so worried. And even sometimes, even today, hey, Tammy from Texas, great to see you. Even sometimes still today, I get worried about what other people think about me. I get worried about how I'm going to show up. I get worried about, what if I lose my words? I get worried about a whole range of different things. Not in this particular forum, because this is my home. Like, this is what we do. I do this every day nearly. But so an example, I've just had it confirmed last night. I haven't told anybody else this yet, so this is a bit of an exclusive. I'm flying to Melbourne tomorrow to do quite a few hours worth of film shooting for a television program with some things that I'm going to be doing, which is, really fun. But I'm like, oh, what am I going to wear? I want to make sure I'm honoring the television production that we're doing it for. I want to make sure that I'm serving, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, right? And so part of me is like, oh my gosh, what if I get there and, what are they going to think about me? I hope that I'm showing up in the way that they want them to, that I want them to, because it's not something that I do every day. So one of the big things for you to hear is that confidence is not necessarily, it's not always fully transferable into different mediums. So what you need to do is find a way to tap into your own inner certainty, your own inner confidence, so that when you are showing up in these different forums, be it social media, be it keynoting, be it running a workshop, be it doing whatever it is, it will probably feel really unfamiliar. Now, here's a really cool thing though. Fear and excitement feel the same in our bodies, right? So the thing that we're afraid of, or we think that we're afraid of, which might be, going and doing a live stream on Facebook, maybe posting a handful of times a day, that thing that we're afraid of is we're not going to die from it. You are not going to die from hitting go live on your Facebook page. You might. Do you know what the worst thing that could possibly happen is? You press go live and then you lose your words, or you lose your train of thought, or you get confused, or someone says something. You might end up with somebody saying something online in the comments there, and you're like, I don't know how to respond to that. Guess what's amazing about this? You can just go, oh my God, this is bullshit. And you can hit finish and you can delete that whole video, right? So you won't die. And the fact of the matter is, it's probably, if you're not super visible, right? If you don't have millions of people watching you, you're probably not, there's maybe a handful of people that might have seen it in the whole entire world. I know, Joey, like you might die on the inside. But the fact of the matter is that it's a bit like, I fell at the gym last week. I was doing a close grip pull down, if we be really specific, and I wasn't on the normal machine that I was on. My normal machine has a really long seat on it. The one that I was on last week was a really little seat, and I fell off the back, I fell on my ass, and I started laughing. I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. But then I was like, well, there's only half a dozen people in here. It's not like every man and his dog on the whole entire planet saw it and are laughing at me and making fun of me and, say, oh, what a dickhead. On the inside, I wanted to die. But, there's only a handful of people that even saw it. And you know what? Whatever. They probably didn't even care about it. They probably have just gone, oh, that was funny. And they're going off on their own thing. A lot of the time, the things that happen, but we can think that everyone in the whole entire world is judging us, and we can think that everyone in the whole entire world is kind of like pointing the finger or going like they could have done this better or whatever. The fact is that most people are probably just going, oh my God, they're out there doing it. That's fucking awesome. Or they're like, oh, that's great. And then they move on. Or, haha, that was funny. And then they move on. Most people aren't even thinking about you, right? And I know for our ego, that's kind of like, oh my God, I'm dying. But the reality is that, hey, Rebecca, how are you? Thank you so much. I probably made their day. I don't think so, Joe, but I fell off. I started laughing. And then Dom came over later on. He's like, how was your fall? Like, yeah, thanks a lot. That was really awesome. So, you know, the thing that we're really afraid of, if we can reframe it in our heads, what's the worst that happens? You do a live and you stuff it up. Okay, cool, great, delete it. You might put up a post that you might think is the best thing ever and people are like, yeah, that I don't resonate with that. Okay, cool. You can always delete it. Or you can go, I'm just going to keep on showing up and I'm just going to keep practicing. Something that I hate, I wrote about this yesterday. Something that I really don't like is not knowing how to do things well, or not being really proficient at things. And one of the things that I have to keep telling myself is that it's okay to not be perfect at something. It's actually okay to not know how to do things, and it's okay to learn, right? And roller derby for me is a really great example of this. So we've had a couple of competitions recently, which is really awesome. And I feel like I definitely do not have as much experience as a lot of people out there. I do have more experience than some, but I've got like limited experience in terms of actually playing competitively. And I really struggle with that. I'm like, man, this really sucks, because I want to be helpful. I want to be good. I want to be, I don't want to be better than anyone else. I just want to be the best version of me that I can be. And the thing that I have to keep remembering is that even the best of the best of the best of the best sucked really badly at the start. I hope. And it's with practice and repetition and consistency and asking for feedback and having people around you. That's what helps to make you better, and that's what helps to help you improve, and that's what helps to get you along the way. So when it comes to social media content and putting your stuff out there, a lot of us think, me included back in the day, you used to think that, wow, I've got to show up like I've got my shit together all the time. I have to show up really professionally. Like I really have to try and be specific about what it is that I'm talking about, or I've got to be on point all of the time. And, I look at all of the other people in the industry who have got 5 years more experience than me. And I'm like, man, I'm never going to measure up. And if we allow that stuff to keep going on, then what happens? We undermine and we erode our bedrock of confidence. We undermine and we erode our courage. We undermine and we erode our message. We undermine and we erode our visibility, even the little visibility that we might have. And then we go, this is too hard. Fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm out of here. I can't do this. This is not for me. And I think the worst side effect of that is that if you are here to help people, and if you're here to inspire and motivate and educate and support and love up on your audiences, which we all are, no matter what it is that you're selling, then it's like our song gets stuck inside of us. And then I think the worst possible thing that could happen is that we die with that in us, right? And then that legacy that we really want to create and the transformation that we want to support and create and propagate in this world then doesn't happen. And so I kind of think, all right, well, what's the reason that you're doing this for? Why are you even in business? And for me, it's like, yeah, there's the money, right? Money is a big thing. For a lot of people, money can be a big driver and it can be a big reason as to why we started this business. But I can tell you this from experience and from conversations with lots of people. There comes a time where if you're doing it for the money can become not as important, right? And for me, it was like, well, the reason that I do this still to this very day is because I can't not, right? I've tried to kill this business. Not on purpose. Sometimes I'm like, stuff it. I just need to, put it in the bin and, go and reinvent myself again and go and do something different. But here's the thing, every time I've asked for a sign, a big fucking sign to keep going, to dig deeper, to, give it more, give it my all, something always comes through. And it's not always finances. It could be an unexpected email where people have said, oh my God, I've just listened to this thing of yours and I've just gone and put myself out there and I've just gone and made my first sale. Or that thing that you did or that thing that you said, it motivated me to put myself out there, and someone came back and then told them how important it was that they heard that message today. Or what will happen, I'll get an email saying, oh my God, I've just 4 times my income this month. Like, this is ridiculous. Which means that they're out there helping more people. And that, it's like, do you know what it is that you're here to do? Do you feel like what you're doing is what you're here to do? Because let me tell you, there are times where business is fucking hard, and there are times where business is freaking amazing and you're flying high, but nothing like life, like relationships, like your health, like everything. Nothing is like this stagnant kind of line, right? Growth doesn't look like this. Growth looks like this. It is so messy and it can be really confusing. But if we kind of go, all right, well, you know what? Every day, in every way, I'm getting better. I'm showing up. I'm committed to practicing this game of visibility. I'm committed to practicing putting myself out there. I'm committed to practicing showing up. I'm committed to practicing helping people. Then you'll have more people come into your world. You can't not. It's just the way that things will work. So that's really, I guess, from a confidence perspective, we talked a lot about confidence this morning with Global Sisters. The thing with confidence is that it's not something to me that can be contrived, right? It's not something that can be faked, I don't think either, but there are things that you can do to bolster it. So there are 2 things that I want to suggest that you do today. Number 1 is go and do a stock take of how many qualifications that you have, how much life experience you have, how much knowledge you have, your short courses, your long courses, your employment history, the things that you love to do, the things that you've gotten better at, the things that you sucked at that then got better at. Go and do a stock take of all of those things. And that will show you the data, the black and white data or data that you have got. All right, you know what? I've done so much. Of course I'm able to get out there and talk about X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. The second thing that I want you to do is something that I haven't talked about with you guys before, and I was reminded of it today because I think what's really important when you are, I know what's really important when you're showing up online is you feeling really certain about what you're putting out there. So certainty and confidence come across like conviction, right? So if you're really convicted with your message, if you're really confident with your message, you will come across with everything that you're saying, and people will know that you are absolutely certain. It's like, I believe this person. I believe this human that, yes, I know that they can do this. And that's one of the best gifts that we can give our audience, right? Is our certainty. Because let me tell you, if I am more certain than you, if you're like, oh, I don't think this is going to work. And I'm like, yeah, you can do this. If you're like, oh, I don't think I've got the qualifications or the knowledge or the know-how. And I'm like, you absolutely have. So long as my confidence in you and my certainty in you outweighs your maybe lack of confidence or your uncertainty, we can get you up there, right? We can do anything. But if I'm like, no, you probably can. Oh yeah, maybe you could, if you just try it a little bit harder, or, maybe if I come out here and I'm wishy-washy with you, then you're going to like, I don't believe this chick. She's full of shit. So for you, it's the same thing when you show up with your people. You've got to be so certain in what you're doing. So here's how you can do this. I want you to sit down and maybe journal on or start documenting the things that you know that you can do for absolute certain, right? Now, I sat down and I was like, what big ass claim can I make? Forgetting about any of my competitors, forgetting about anyone else in my industry, forgetting about anybody else that does anything even similar to me. Forget all of that. What can I do? And this is what I want you to do. The prompt is, what can I absolutely do? What is my big claim? And I'm like, well, can I, and these are some questions. One of the things was, well, can I help anyone make more money? I was like, yeah, I can probably do that. Can I help anyone uncover their life purpose? Yeah, I can probably do that. Can I help anyone have more fun? Okay, I could do that. Can I help anyone do XYZ? Like, so you can keep asking yourself, can I help anyone do this? So what I came to was that I know without failure, without exception, actually, you can put any human in front of me, maybe except for a newborn baby, but I'm working on that. I can talk to anybody and help them to see how they can use anything in their world to create content and then use that to make money. And so what I did, forgive my lack of toner in my printer when I printed it, and I think it's mirrored, so you're just going to have to deal with that. What it says is, I can speak to anyone and help them see how they can use anything in their world as content and how to then use that to make money. So Joe, I know you're a photographer, so you can probably say, I know I can take an amazing photo of anyone that captures their soul essence, for example. And then if you know that, then that's going to create, that's my declaration. I know I can do that. So then if your audience is like, oh, I just really wish somebody could capture who I am, like at my soul level, they see your declaration, because you can use this on your website or your social media about me's, or in your about me on your website, or like wherever it happens to be, right? So I know that I can help anyone make more money. I know I can help anyone create more content. And so then I don't care what anybody else does. Like, I know that for me, I know then that my audience, if they're like, oh, but I don't think I'm very interesting. Hands up if you've ever said that. Oh, I don't think I've got anything exciting to say. Meh. I used to say this stuff to myself. Oh, I don't really think that what I have to share is actually, I know it's helpful, but isn't it a little bit boring? Isn't it the same as everybody else? Blah, 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 whatever other bullshit stories I told in my head. But you know what? It's like, okay, great. I don't care what anybody else does. For me, I'm just like, yeah, I can help anyone do this. That then makes my level of certainties here. You might be, oh, but I don't think I've got that much content to create, because I'm like, I can guarantee I can help anyone create more content. You can roll off my certainty in you, right? One of the things that I've been absolutely blessed with, thank you God. One of the things that I've been absolutely blessed with is that I see human potential, right? I see your potential. I know that if you've got a dream and a vision to do something, I know I can help you get there. And I see that in you guys. And I think that that's a really, like, I'm so blessed to have that as something that I get to do and get to be a part of, is the journey of you getting yourself out there and then you seeing how amazing you are, and then you using that, and then you leveraging that, and then you helping the people out there that you help. So we need to do this for you as well. Like, you need to have that so that you can share that with your audience. But if you're scared and afraid and sitting in the space of fear, then that's what they're going to get from you. So what this declaration does is it helps you to step into that, kind of like, I'm here, I've got this stance, so that when you're creating your content, they get that vibe from you, right? Joe, I so needed this today after a message I got from a friend pointing out flaws in my video I posted last night. Thank you for sharing your gift. You are very welcome. And I love that you posted a video that maybe had some flaws, or maybe it didn't. I wonder if said friend would ever spend money. Is she your ideal client? Maybe her or their or his opinion doesn't even matter, because I know that you are awesome. So that is that for you today. The big thing that I want you to remember is that you are a freaking badass, right? You know more about what it is that you do and about how to do what you do, probably more than 90% of the population, right? Sometimes the things that seem so fucking obvious to ourselves, to us, are groundbreaking and life-changing for our audiences. Like, don't underestimate the power of you sharing some really simple things, what seems simple to you, and how that can change their life. So you're a badass, you're amazing, and it's about freaking time that you owned that, is what I have to say about that. And if you already own it, amazing, go and leverage it even more. On that note, I am going to love you and leave you because I've been speaking for many hours and I am starving. So I am going to love you and leave you. It is time for you to get yourself out there, to go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome. If you want help with this or anything else that you know that I happen to be doing, you can come along to Visible Live. Yes, we are going to be in the room in June. I'm so excited about this national tour. I'm just thrilled. I just can't wait to do this. So if you are interested in building out your content framework, really getting yourself out there, recognizing your own badassery, and you want me pulling these ideas out of your brain, this is how we do that. Go and click on that link, go and register, and I will see you in the room in June for Visible Live. I love you. Mwah. You're amazing. And I will see you tomorrow. Have fun, everyone. Bye.